The linebacker group, which does include the edge rushers for the Packers, were expected to be a position of strength, with a great mix of veterans and young talent that should have led to an improved group in 2023. But that did not happen, as several players dealt with injuries and just plain underperformed. The grading scale for this video is as followed. A is for a player that had an all-pro caliber season or just way exceeded expectations for them. B is for a player that had a Pro Bowl caliber season or just plain exceeded expectations. C is for a player that had a very solid season and met expectations. D is for a player that had a disappointing season. And F is for players that completely stunk it up. So let's go ahead and start with De'Vondre Campbell, the veteran leader of the middle linebackers. That was not a great season for the veteran linebacker, who is now 2 seasons removed from his all-pro caliber year in 2021. For the second straight season, injuries had taken a toll for Campbell, as he appeared in only 11 of the Packers' 17 regular season games, and when he was in there, it really did look like he lost a step in his physical ability and his performance on the field. He was still pretty solid, being an average linebacker for the Packers. However, the problem is that the Packers were paying him like he was still the All-Pro in 2021. That led Campbell to be cut in a salary cap move in the offseason, and he signed a 1-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers for the 2024 season. In 2023, Campbell had 75 total tackles, 46 solo with 3 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 pass deflection. PFF gave him an overall grade of 65.3, a run defense grade of 67.7, a pass rush grade of 71.7, and a coverage grade of 61.0. Overall, for his 2023 season, I'm giving Campbell a grade of C-, as he really did struggle with injuries, and when he was on the field, there was a pretty big drop-off from when he was the previous 2 years. One of the Packers' best special teamers and a really solid backup linebacker, Wilson put in another solid season in his role in Green Bay. He appeared in 17 games for the Packers, recording 31 total tackles, 16 of them solo, with 1 quarterback hit as well. PFF gave him an overall grade of 67.0 with a run defense grade of 75.4, a pass rush grade of 56.7, and a coverage grade of 60.5. Overall, I'm giving Wilson a grade of C+ for the year, as he played his role on special teams really well. He almost had the player of the year for the Packers in their divisional round loss against the 49ers, where after an insane Keyshawn Nixon kickoff return touchdown that he really fumbled, Wilson dove in the air like a dolphin to recover the ball. If the Packers have won that game, that play would have gone down in Packers history as one of the best plays of all time. It was an interesting sophomore season for Quay. The former first-round pick out of Georgia had an up-and-down season, showing great flashes of top-end talent with his athleticism, but also struggling with consistency, injuries, and remembering to be in the right spot at times. How much of that was due to the terrible scheming of Joe Barry or due to Quay just not fully understanding his assignments is to be seen this year with the new defensive coordinator. Walker had really solid counting stats, appearing in 14 games, missing 3 due to injury, totaling 118 total tackles, 59 solo, 2.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 5 quarterback hits, 1 interception that was a pick 6 against the Bears in week 1, and a missed tackle rate of 4.8%. PFF wasn't too kind to him this season, giving him an overall grade of 60.0, with a run defense grade of 66.8, a pass rush grade of 60.7, and a coverage grade of 52.6. Overall, I'm giving Quay a grade of C for the season, as he's just about what we expected coming into the year, struggling a bit with consistency but having great flashes. The hope is that under new defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, Quay will be unleashed, as his athletic talent is really special. Just is going to take the right usage to make the most out of him. The Packers' first-round pick in 2023, Lucas Van Ness, is a very difficult player to grade, as everyone knew heading into the year that he would spend a lot of time behind the veteran duo of Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary. But there was plenty of times where he was on the field where he flashed his potential with crazy athleticism that led him to be taken with a 13th overall pick. The 22-year-old Iowa product appeared in all 17 games, but only playing in 33% of the snaps, recording 32 total tackles, 23 of them solo, 4 sacks, including a really impressive chase down of current Steelers quarterback Justin Fields that showed a big glimpse of his athleticism, 8 tackles for loss, 10 quarterback hits, and 18 total pressures. PFF gave him an overall grade of 64.0, with a run defense grade of 63.1 and a pass rush grade of 59.0. For his rookie season, I'm giving Lucas a grade of B-, as he did have limited playing time behind those 2 good veteran players, but in that playing time, you saw why the Packers took him in the first round. I believe that a big breakout could be in store for him this upcoming season, and that will give the Packers a very scary pass rush. The elder statesman of the group, Smith did what he does best for the Packers, and that is to turn in a solid, steady season that doesn't wow you on the stat sheet, but one that is much needed for the Packers. In 17 games where he started all 17 of them, Smith had 48 total tackles, 28 of them solo, 8 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 21 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass deflections, and 45 total pressures. PFF gave him an overall grade of 73.9, with a run defense grade of 74.3 and a pass rush grade of 68.1. I'm giving Preston a grade of B for his 2023 season, as he was just a really solid, above-average pass rusher who was a key veteran presence for this team. I would expect that he will produce at a similar rate this year, and again, just be that cornerstone rock that we can count on game in and game out. It was a very intriguing season for Isaiah, as even though he was third on the depth chart behind Quay Walker and Devondre Campbell, McDuffie ended up starting in 8 games. He was decent in that role, posting solid counting stats, but not grading out well in other areas of the game. In 16 games, of which of those 8 were starts, McDuffie had 86 total tackles, 56 solo, 5 tackles for loss, a half sack, 3 quarterback hits, and a pass deflection. PFF was not too kind to him, giving him a 58.4 overall grade, with a run defense grade of 57.9, a pass rush grade of 64.4, and a coverage grade of 59.0. Overall, I'm giving McDuffie a grade of C for the year, as he was a really solid backup that was forced into starting due to injuries. It will be interesting to see how McDuffie is going to be used this upcoming season under the new defensive coordinator, and I think this will be McDuffie's best season as a pro. Coming off of a torn ACL that shortened his 2022 season, Gary was expected to take some time to get up to speed in 2023. From the beginning of the season, Gary was coming in as a rotational edge to ease his way back up into full-time play, and then about 4 games in, he was given full starter reps. As for the season, he was just good. Nothing spectacular, not terrible, but just good. The main issue with Gary was that this year was his consistency, where there were games he would just outright dominate opposing offensive lines, and others where he'd just disappear completely and not impact the game too much. Overall, for 2023, Gary appeared in 17 games, starting in 13 of them, recording 44 total tackles, 23 solo, 9 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 22 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 pass deflections, and 60 total pressures. PFF gave him an overall grade of 80.0, with a run defense grade of 76.4 and a pass rush grade of 76.2. Overall, I'm giving Gary a grade of B for his 2023 season, as he really had some solid counting stats and had some really good games as well, but he did struggle with his consistency from game to game regarding his impact on the defense. Hopefully this season, more consistency will be here for Gary, and he will become one of the most dominant edge rushers in the NFL. The second-year player out of South Carolina turned in another solid season as a rotational edge rusher. He actually started the first 4 games of the year due to Rashawn Gary's injury and was just a very solid backup option for the Green Bay Packers. His season did not end well, though, suffering a pretty bad knee injury in the divisional round game against the 49ers, but reports are that it wasn't as severe as expected, and he should be ready to go for the 2024 season. In 2023, Enagbare appeared in 17 games, starting in 4 of them, had 37 total tackles, 27 solo, 8 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, 6 quarterback hits, and 24 pressures. PFF gave him an overall grade of 64.5, a run defense grade of 63.4, and a pass rush grade of 65.5. For his 2023 season, I'm giving Enagbare a grade of C+, as he was really solid in his backup role. I hope he fully recovers from his knee injury and provides valuable depth for the Packers in 2024. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Next up is the series finale, where we go and talk about DBs, the corners, safeties, and also as well the special teamers. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you again very soon.